This is Political Science chapter number 2, End of Bipolarity. So let us understand this chapter. In the first part of our video series, we understood what was Soviet system. We understood the merits of this Soviet system, and we also understood the demerits of Soviet system. Okay, so let me tell you that Soviet Union was at par with USA as far as arms race was concerned. Arms race means building more and more weapons, arms and ammunition. In that comparison, USSR was equal to USA. But it was done at great cost. Soviet lagged behind the West in technology and infrastructure. It even failed to realize the socio-economic and political aspiration of its people. The invasion of Afghanistan in 1979 further weakened the Soviet economy, leading it to the verge of stagnation. In terms of productivity and technology, Soviet system became stagnant and fell behind the West. Though wages increased, it was followed by shortage of consumer goods and food products. Food imports grew considerably, bringing Soviet economy on the brink of stagnation by late 1970s. Now, what do you mean by economic stagnation? Stagnation means when you stop growing. When you stop growing. For the development of any nation, the economy has to grow. It may be slow or faster, but it has to grow. But in the case of USSR, they started with great dream of communism, of equality, of socialism, of no poverty, no unemployment. Okay, all these good things. But as the years pass by, because of the demerits, because of the wrong practices there, the corrupt practices, all those dreams were shattered. And it came to a place of stagnation. Okay, so during 1980s, remember, one person, as you see his photograph, Mikhail Gorbachev, he was the General Secretary of Soviet Communist Party, in 85 sought to reform the system. This Mikhail Gorbachev, he was open-minded. He was not against democratic system. He was not against privatization. So, he wanted to bring lot of changes, lot of reformation in the Soviet system. He decided to normalize the relations with the West. Remember, the USSR's relation with the West has always been full of strain and tension. But Mikhail Gorbachev, he wanted to have friendly relation with the Western counterpart. He believed in democratizing and reforming the Soviet Union. So this is how we understand that the idea of democratic system, the benefits of democratic system, Mikhail Gorbachev understood, and he wanted to bring certain changes in Soviet system. He was not telling, I want to remove Soviet system. He said, I want to bring changes in Soviet system. Okay, so these changes which he brought, you can see, number one, perestroika means restructuring. Glasnost means openness and transparency. Then uskorny means improving the economy. Okay, so this is how Mikhail Gorbachev played important role in bringing reformation in Soviet system. Out of those three terms, these two terms became very popular: glasnost and perestroika. Glasnost means openness and transparency in government institutions. Okay, today in India we have right to information, so we can approach to any government department and ask them to open the file of particular thing. That openness is there in our country, transparency is there in our country. But in USSR, Soviet USSR, only Communist Party was there, so no one can approach any office and ask to open the file. There was a lack of transparency. But Mikhail Gorbachev came with the idea of glasnost, कि open the government department to the common people, let them come and see what government is doing. Then perestroika, restructuring of Soviet political and economic system. He wanted to bring changes in political system and economic system. He always believed that we should not reject all which is propagated by Western world. The ideas of democracy, the idea of equality, idea of freedom of speech and expression, all these things Mikhail Gorbachev understood that they are very important. And in USSR, such freedom, such rights should be granted to the citizens of USSR. In economic system, he wanted to bring some openness to privatization. Okay, so this is how we understand that Mikhail Gorbachev introduced these three reforms. What were they? Number one, perestroika. Number two, glasnost. And number three, uskorny. Okay, now listen carefully. These reform processes had far-reaching consequences, unintended or unanticipated. Mikhail Gorbachev brought these reforms, okay, but he was not prepared for the far-reaching consequences, unintended or unanticipated. He never thought that because of these three steps of reformation, USSR will going to disintegrate. He never thought of it, but it happened because of those three reforms. Okay, perestroika, glasnost and uskorny. Now, after Mikhail Gorbachev, we find another important person. As you can see the picture, his name is Boris Yeltsin. Okay, and this is how we understand about the disintegration of Soviet Union. A coup took place in 1991. It was encouraged by Communist Party hardliners. People were against communist rule. A coup here means a military rule. Okay, when army wants to take control over a country, that is called a coup. So in 1991 this took place, and who was the mastermind behind this? Communist Party. Okay, what Mikhail Gorbachev wanted to bring. There were some in communist parties who opposed all these ideas of Mikhail Gorbachev. So they wanted to overturn, okay, and therefore they encouraged the coup in 1991. But people were against communist rule. People were fed up, tired with the communist rule. Okay, they were not allowed to have their own freedom to choose or to write or to speak or to express or to move here and there. Every time government was, interfering, poking its nose. So they were finding it difficult to grow. Boris Yeltsin emerged as national hero. Yeltsin opposed the centralized control. So Mikhail Gorbachev, his work was over. Afterward, we find Boris Yeltsin. He was also open-minded, and he also believed that there should be no centralized control. Centralized control means only central government will be there to take care of all the republics of Soviet. No. He came up with the idea that each republic should also have its own republican government. There should be decentralization. There should be power sharing. There should be sharing of power with other governments also. Okay, this is how we understand that Boris Yeltsin also contributed a lot in disintegration of Soviet Union. Okay, now in December 26, 1991, under the leadership of Yeltsin, Russia, Ukraine and Belarus declared independence. So here we find all those 15 republics. Out of these 3 republics, number 1 Russia, number 2 Ukraine, number 3 Belarus, they declare their independence. Okay, that we will function independently. So this was a great shock all over the world. Okay, how Soviet Union is getting disintegrated. Yeltsin and his supporters also declared that Soviet Union was disbanded and Communist Party of the Soviet Union was banned. Okay, so this is how we understand that Boris Yeltsin, okay, he very clearly declared, now so Communist Party is banned, Soviet Union is disbanded, means all those 15 republics, now they are free. Now each republic can form its own government. So this was a news to not only a shocking news, not only to the 15 republics but to the entire world. What has gone there? What has happened in that Soviet Union? Suddenly got disintegrated in 1991. Okay. Post-Soviet republics adopted capitalism and democracy. So after the disintegration of USSR, after the end of the rule of Communist Party, all the 15 republics, they were made free, and now they adopted capitalism and democracy. So this is how we can say the end of bipolarity came, means one of the pole, one of the superpower, it disintegrated. Okay, and all those republics, they adopted capitalism and democratic system. Now Commonwealth of Independent States, CIS, Commonwealth of Independent States, CIS was formed after the disintegration of USSR Russia was accepted as the successor of Soviet Union. Okay, so all those 15 states, later on they were called with a new term, CIS, means Commonwealth of Independent States. And before this, USSR was one of the permanent member of the Security Council of UN Security Council. So after its disintegration, Russia was given that place, a permanent seat in Security Council of UNO. Okay. Now, disintegration of USSR, there are certain reasons. In exam you may be asked why USSR collapsed. Number one, economic stagnation. I already told you about economic stagnation. There was no place for privatization. All the industrial sector or agriculture sector was controlled by the government. Therefore people lost their enthusiasm to work. They were simply just like a government employee. So there was economic stagnation. The trade which they were having with other countries, that was not of compared to the USA. They were earning less. So economic stagnation was there. Okay, unemployment situation rose, poverty rose. Expensive arms race. Most of the money, national income was going into developing more and more arms and ammunition. Economic advance in the West. In the western part of Europe, USA was giving advance after advance to the western countries so that they can develop themselves economically. While the Eastern Europe, which were basically under the control of USSR, they were lagging behind in technology, in development, because they were not having sufficient funds. Then unaccountable administrative system. Administrative system was unaccountable, not answerable. Corrupt practices were there. Okay, things were moving at tortoise speed, but no one was accountable. No one was bothered about all these things. Because of these things, dear students, USSR disintegrated. See, corruption and non-transparency in bureaucracy. This is another important thing. I told you already previously. Corruption and non-transparency was there. Therefore, Glasnost, Mikhail Gorbachev wanted to bring this reformation. Centralization of authority. Only central government was there. Okay, and reforms of Mikhail Gorbachev, that is very important for you to learn, to memorize or to remember, that it was because of the policies of Mikhail Gorbachev the USSR was disintegrated. And what was the immediate reason? Nationalization in provinces. All the other 15 republics, out of 3 or 4 republics were good economically. Rest of them were really economically backward. Okay, and they just felt that Moscow was not paying full attention to our development. So the people were dissatisfied in many of these republics. They were dissatisfied with the rule of Moscow. Okay, therefore they just begin to feel that we should have our own nationality, we should have our own national flag, and we should be independent of Moscow. Moscow should not be controlling us. Moscow was the capital of USSR.